Julia Arena. Up next in the para ice hockey tournament, it's third place in Group B on the line when Slovakia and Japan clash. My name is Rob Snook, eager to bring you this game between two teams that are hungry for success. It's Japan and Slovakia. Slovakia comes in as the higher-ranked team, landing 6th at last year's World Championships. But it has been a tough go so far in Milano. Team Slovakia has managed just 1 goal so far in the tournament. Martin Jopa and his team will need to generate more offense to have a chance against Japan. Japan started the tournament with an impressive showing against Czechia, twice taking the lead on the Europeans, only to fall 3-2 in the end. But that kind of effort against this opponent could see Japan put a check mark in the win column for the first time in Italy in 2026. It's all yet to be decided. Japan versus Slovakia should be very competitive to decide third place in Group B. Referee in today's game is Matthew Fergenbaum from Canada. The linespersons are Tibor Mazikas from Serbia and Larry Nitila from Finland. 8 of the top 9 time on ice leaders in this tournament are in this game, led by Martin Jopa, the captain of Slovakia, who is averaging 43 minutes and 47 seconds. Keep in mind, the games are 45 minutes long, so that tells you an awful lot. He has played an awful lot. He'll center the first line with Korman and Ligda. Korman has the only goal of the tournament so far for Slovakia. We hope to see Stasak playing. He's the center of the second line with Turic and Garbier. He didn't get to play in the opening game, didn't dressed in the second, couldn't play. Lapacek has been excellent in the Slovakia net. He has stopped 80% of the shots he has faced for Ivan Hrycko's team. And on the other side of the ice, it is Team Japan, coached by Nakakita Kojin. Deeper roster, he's got the full roster. In fact, he has 1 extra player because the way this tournament is structured and to try to support the women's game, they have given a chance to teams to add 1 extra player. So Fukunishu, there you see her in the 3rd defense pairing. We hope we get a chance to see her in the game tonight. Mitsu's got a goal in the tournament, and Ito both on the first line. Ukai's the playmaker there. That is the #1 line for Japan in this tournament. This is a game they feel like they can win. Japan beat Slovakia last year at the Paralympic qualifying tournament in November, and Nakakita Kojin, who traces his hockey roots back to North America, has played in both Canada and in the United States, and he's been the head coach of this team for a long time. Hori, strong in net for Japan throughout the tournament. Yes, in fact, the 2 goaltenders, Lapacek in one end, Hori in the other, have identical save percentages, about .02. So they're both 80%. One is 80.25, the other is 80.23. It's not worth separating the two. They have both stopped 8 out of 10 shots fired their way. Japan likes to use a strategy. You see number 10 on your screen, lurking out near center ice. It is game time at the Santa Giulia Arena. Japan in the black jerseys, Slovakia in white with the blue shoulders. Slovakia in its own zone, a big hit thrown there. Ferencik got upended, and Japan controlling out between the blue lines, the neutral zone, if you will. Jopa swings the pass cross ice for Korman, gets it back to Jopa, leads the tournament in time on ice, does Martin Jopa. Here's Ito, he leads his team in time on ice. So expect to hear both of those names a lot. We've got a delayed offside perhaps you're new to watching hockey. If you see either of the officials without an orange armband raising their arm, that most often means it's just, or it's not just, but it's an icing call, or in this case, an offside call. If you see the referee with an orange armband raising his hand, that usually means there's a penalty. If you've been watching hockey all your life, of course you knew that. But we want as many new fans as we can in our great game. It is sent down the ice. This is going to be, no, it's not. They're going to wait. Well, yeah, they do finally call the icing. The linesman was waiting for the Slovak player to cross the area near the circles. And once that happens, he blows the whistle. I love that little bit of hat/face mask that we saw with one of the Japanese fans. Opening minute, 15-minute periods in para ice hockey. If we happen to be tied at the end, we go to a 4-on-4 overtime, a 5-minute 4-on-4. If we're still tied, we go to a 3-player shootout. Japan trying to retrieve the puck in their own zone, but pressure comes. Nice to see Stasak is playing. Miroslav Stasak been battling through an injury. And the puck is flipped out to center ice by Japan. Back for it goes Martin Jopa. Keeps his head up while he's skating back. His team is changing. That is nice to see. Slovakia has been really limited, and here is a chance at the blue line. It was just out of the reach of Korman. Now he gets it back again. And Japan's going to dump it in. Here they go on the chase with Kawahara. Throws it to the front, middle of the ice. Ligda grabs it. Kawahara slow to get up on this play. The referee watching to make sure he is okay. Kawahara is going to make his way off the ice here. Slovakia ices the puck. Slovakia's second time playing in the Paralympic Winter Games. They were 7th in Beijing 4 years ago. They were 6th at the last 2 World Championships. That was the hit that Ferencik handed the Japanese player Kawahara, and they're going to feel that one for a while. Kumagai taking the draw, the captain for Team Japan. It comes to Nitsu. He's got a goal for his team in the tournament. Sends it back to the blue line for Ishikawa. Throws it towards the net. And Slovakia is going to dump it out to center. Here comes Jopa. Flips it forward. They sent back down to center ice. And here's Ito. Couldn't get around Vesharek. And Slovakia busting back in with Korman. Back to Ligda. He's got Jopa with him. Ligda shot. Nice save by Hori. Ligda again shoots. Didn't miss by much. Here's Jopa teeing it up. Doesn't want to shoot it yet. Curls back with it. Japan staying in a box to kind of keep Slovakia to the outside. Here's Sudo. He'll rim it around the boards. Will it get out? No. Good play by Slovakia to keep it in. Korman spins away from his check, gets it to Ligda. It sits in front of the net, and Hori knows that Jopa is burning rubber to come in at him, and he decides to cover that one up. There's a pretty good chance that Hori, as he's moving left to right, just kind of leaves that pad there. And a beautiful save by Hori. He made 27 saves on 30 shots in Japan's game against Czechia, and they came up just a little short. They had the lead twice in that one. Ishikawa deals it ahead for Ito. He's got speed, and here he comes using it. Can his team stay on side? Yes, barely. Ito kind of blew a tire, a bit of a speed wobble. Slovakia is going to gain control. We're 3.5 minutes into the opening period. Stashak, he absorbs a hit. Ito comes in to help out. Haven't seen it yet, but Ito will start to lurk out near center ice, but instead there's a shot. Great blocking arm save by Hori. Might have even gone off the, almost looked like the inside of his blocker. 2 shots on goal in the game. Both belong to Slovakia. Japan has some pretty good scoring efficiency. They don't take a lot of shots. We'll see if special teams becomes any kind of a battle in this game. Slovakia does have 1 power play goal. Japan has not scored yet with the man advantage. And now 4.5 minutes into the first period. Ito's got the puck inside his own blue line. Deals it ahead for Nitsu. And he couldn't catch up to it, and thus an icing call against Team Japan. It was a 3-2 win for Team Japan at the Paralympic qualifying tournament over Slovakia in November. That was in Norway. Both teams were amongst a group of 4 who on the last day had a chance to qualify. 4 teams tied with the same record. If you won your final game amongst those 4 teams, you punched a ticket to the Paralympics. Japan won over Norway, and Slovakia eked out a 2-1 win over Korea. Murasaki Amu back in his own corner. Couldn't get it by Ligda. Got a good puck support there from his teammate. Ukai. Ito can't come up with it. Now he can. Got some help from Ukai. 3 Japanese players come to center. Nitsu. Ito joining him. Ito has it, shoots it, scores! Ito on Japan's first shot of the game. He is dangerous, Ito Itsuki. And a nice setup from Nitsu. You've got a veteran in Nitsu, a 38-year-old, and a 20-year-old in Ito. And Ito makes no mistake. And Lepacek is dynamite in goal, but he slid just a shade too far to his left, trying to protect the short side maybe, and he just left a little bit too much of the glove side open. And Japan strikes first at the 5:21 mark of the opening period. Kawahara doesn't like the way Ferencik is lined up on the face-off, but the linesman decides it's good to be dropped anyway. Here's Corman, nice move. He's got Ligda with him. Ligda with a chance, and it's punched away by Hori. Slovakia is really pushing here. They want to tie this and tie it quickly. And Ligda had a pretty good chance there, and Hori was ready. Nice pass from Corman. Ligda protects the puck well with his left arm and then fires the shot with his right. And there's that goal just moments before that from Ito. And he is whooping it up. Well, we thought this would be a competitive game, and so far, so good. It is a competitive game. Ligda after the puck again. Came awfully close on the last one. There's another shot. Hori got a piece of it. Corman picks it up in front. Ferencik. Now he shoots the spin around. Didn't miss by much. Ferencik keeps it in, and Japan will push it out. Delayed offside. Now, good job by Ligda to get out. And Japan had a chance to try to clear it. Sudo Saturo couldn't get it out. There's a shot off the side of Hori's net. Here's Jopa. And it's going to be sent around the boards by Japan, but not hard enough to get out. Korman's got it. Jopa was lurking in front. He is being guarded very closely by Kawahara. Ligda drops it back for Jopa. Throws it on. It's swept out of harm's way. In front of the net by Murasaki. Vesharek dumps the puck in. Stasek comes back on the ice for Slovakia. Towards the net it goes. Grabbed by Sudo. They'll send it around the right wing boards. The Japanese right wing boards, that is, for Ito, who launches one. He's practiced that one because he sends it about 58 meters down the ice. It's right on net. Jopa rims it around the boards. Corman's going to pick it up. No, he can't. Ito does. Corman's got enough of him to slow him down. Jopa works it free for Corman. And he's going to send a long pass to center ice. Stasek trying to catch up to it. Gathered in by Team Japan. Can't clear it, though. We got quite the battle raging along the board. Sudo is there. He thinks it's under him. It's not. And it'll be shot right back in. So all the Slovak players have to clear the zone. And they do. Long pass to center. Finds Ito. Pushes it ahead for Nitsu. Not sure he was quite expecting it at that moment. Ito has to chase it. He runs over his man in the corner. That is all about the speed of Ito. And I don't think that Mikhail Hlinka was quite expecting that from Ito. Murasaki, long pass ahead, out of the reach of Ito. Jopa takes it, captain of Team Slovakia. Tournament leader in ice time. And smart player, of course, MVP of the Paralympic qualifying tournament in November, because he had 14 points. And this is going to be an icing call against Japan. Slovakia theoretically returning 11 players from the team that played in Beijing. But a few of the players that they had listed were not able to come. There's that huge hit from Ito. Hlinka goes back, and then at the last moment he sees it. That is clean because he is facing the play, of course. If he hits him from behind, then not so much. But Ito waits until he turns. Japan controls. But Nitsu couldn't do anything with it. Kind of got jammed up. Here's a chance in front. Ligda! And he sent it just wide. Play in behind the net as Slovakia manages to keep it in the zone. Jopa, he's going to send it back to Verenchik. Holds Nitsu, watching him. Hori trying to gather it in, and he just does before the Slovakian forwards arrive. Four of them all within a hockey stick length of that crease. So just under 5.5 to go in the first period. It's Japan 1, Slovakia nothing. Goal scorer Ito, his second of the tournament. Nitsu sets it up for Team Japan.
The games are not just sports, competitions, and contests.
Not so sure if
the games are so much more.
If Slovakia was expecting Japan to be super physical.
Embodying a much larger movement steeped in history, culture, and values.
The other way around, yes, but
Tells a story through its
that's what you do. It's a preemptive strike, I guess. Before they hit you, you hit them. And it's all part of the game. So it's the job of Matthew Fergenbaum, the Canadian referee, to make sure it's all above board.
Connects people, communities, and places. Culture moves the world.
These teams are part of Pool B, or Group B, if you will, along with Czechia and Canada. The way the playoff structure is, these two teams are both 0-2. The team that finishes third will play the team that is fourth from the other pool. The pool that includes USA, China, Germany, and Italy. The team that finishes fourth will play the third place team, and that's in a battle to decide who places fifth, sixth, seventh, and eighth. The top four teams will go through to the semifinals of the tournament and will play in the medal round. Here's Sudo, slides the puck ahead. Racing after it goes Misawa. And he slams into Milos Vesharek. Korman, long pass to center, finds Jopa. He was trying to filter it to the middle of the ice. Nobody was there with a white jersey could get a stick on it. Misawa sends it back in. Racing after it, Team Japan. Misawa down. Vesharek fires around, and then he just absorbs that hit and kind of pushes off Kawahara. And Team Slovakia got it just past the blue line, but couldn't even get it to center on that play. Here's Jopa. Banks it off the boards. Both officials get out of the way of the puck. And Sudo Satoru, the 55-year-old who was a silver medalist. He was wearing number... Satoru is wearing, he looks and he hesitates on himself. Sudo is wearing number 24, sorry. Started looking at number 55 because of his age, but impressive. He was one of the players on Team Japan that won silver in Vancouver in 2010, pulling off one of the biggest upsets in para ice hockey history, and it was well earned. Three players on this team. Sudo is one. Yoshikawa Namoru is the other, is one of the other ones. And Misawa Iaiji. Ukai takes the draw for Team Japan. Been a solid player for them. 20-year-old, the next generation of para ice hockey players coming along. This is going to be called on the offside. The puck was kind of pushed in, and Vesharek kind of put himself a wee bit offside on the play, I dare say. 3:15 to go in period number one. Just one goal scored. Japan leads it on Ito's second of the tournament. See a pretty good idea there of how the different sleds are manufactured. If you're a double leg amputee, you're definitely going to have a shorter sled. It makes you more maneuverable, but it also makes you easier to kind of knock off the puck. You're simply lighter. You've got to be able to handle the puck underneath your own sled. Once you can master that skill, you're often running or skating, as it were, and you skate by using the two picks on the end of the two shortened hockey sticks, but they're not literally just shortened, they are specially made sledge hockey sticks, if you will. That is what the sport was called up until a few years ago, and the sled or the sledge is still what the players play on. American star Declan Farmer has been doing a great job explaining the sport, all the mechanics, all the equipment. It's been fascinating to watch. You might want to check him out on Instagram. Canadian captain Tyler McGregor has been doing a lot of the same thing. Sometimes you just have questions and you're not sure. Japan forechecking with Ito. Slovakia trying to organize. They've managed 6 shots on Hori in the Japan net, but haven't been rewarded yet. Japan has 1 goal on 2 shots on Lapacek. Hori couldn't get it by Ito. He sends one to the net. Didn't miss by a whole lot. Mitsu. And then work it all the way across the ice. Ishikawa tracks it down, just barely kept it in at the blue line. Mitsu tries to throw his weight around in behind the net. Mitsu still after it. Where is it? It's in his gear, and he almost got rewarded. That's one way to stick handle. Just gonna have it up in your paraphernalia, as it were. Here's Ishikawa. Sends a long pass. Would have been a beauty if it could have sent Ito, but it missed him. And thus an icing call with 1:33 to go, opening period. So far in the Milano Cortina Para Ice Hockey Tournament, Slovakia has lost back-to-back games. 8-0 against Canada, 8-1 against Czechia. Japan, same story, a little closer though in their opener. 3-2 was the final against Czechia. Mitsu racing after that loose puck. Almost got rewarded. Japan's game against Canada, they'd like to have back. Here's a chance for Jopa. Lost that one 14-0, but they seem to have regrouped well. Ukai can't play without his stick, so he's going to head back with one to get his stick. Some players would just quickly go to the bench to do that. He decided to just go pick it up off the ice. Inside of the final minute to play in the opening period. Ukai, nice stick handle from right stick to left. Works it across for Nitsu. Ahead for Ito. He shovels it onwards for Murasaki. He ran into some heavy traffic. Ito comes in. Going to be knocked back down the ice by Slovakia, and it's going to be an icing. This is key for Japan to try to get the group of five they want on the ice, an offensive zone face-off. And head coach Nakakita has the group he wants on the ice. And that's going to include Kawahara, Misawa, Nasu. Those are the forwards. Sudo is on one point, and Ishikawa's on the other. But you've got to win the face-off to have the offensive opportunity. Instead, it is Jopa busting down the ice. He's got some room. He's got talent. He can not quite get it done on that one. But he has got some pretty slick hands. And he just maybe went a bit too far, but he's still after it. A few seconds left. Maybe one more chance for Slovakia. Jopa just trying to send it to the front of the net. But he'll come up a little short here. So the only goal of the first period belongs to Japan. Ito gets it at the 5:21 mark, and that's where we sit after one period of play in this battle for third place in Group B.
Slovakia 7 by Japan 2.
I tiri in porta nel primo periodo sono stati Slovacchia 7, Giappone 2.
Shots on goal in that first period favors Slovakia at 7-2. There you see it, Nitsu from, or at least Nitsu and Ukai setting up Ito on that goal. Lots to cheer about for Team Japan. Team Slovakia fans have made the trip. A little shorter trip for them, to be sure, than it is for the fans from Japan, no doubt about that. Power play's not a factor. Face-offs dominated by Japan. That was interesting. Over 71% efficiency, so 10 of 14. However, the shot clock, no doubt about it, Slovakia 7-2, but couldn't score on Hori on those 7 shots. Martin Joppa, by the way, played all but 3 seconds of that opening period. 14:57 recorded. The tournament leader in ice time just continues to add to the numbers. Joppa's the kind of player who will jump in on offense, get back on defense. In this case, it's Ligda who had a couple of chances. It really looked like Slovakia early on was pressing, trying to get that first goal. It was an odd man rush that resulted in the only goal so far in this one. Ito on a really nice setup from Mitsu. And the 20-year-old speedster Ito gets rewarded with his second of the tournament. Nice little no-look pass from Mitsu on the backhand, in fact. Goal scorer gets lots of attention, and he deserves it, but the pass maker certainly deserves it too. Mitsu and Ukai helped to set that one up. And how about Hori? Outstanding. That one, he just dives out with the blocker. Lots of hits, lots of battles in this one. Here's Ligda, that nice setup for Joppa, and he is usually just so solid in front. Just barely got that. That was how close it could have been to tying up the game. But instead, it is Japan 1, Slovakia nothing. 1 period is in the books. Always fun to watch the intermission entertainment that happens at the Milano Cortina 2026 Paralympic Winter Games here in the Para Ice Hockey Tournament in Milano, Santa Giulia Arena. My name is Rob Snook, glad to bring you this one. It is a battle in Pool B, Group B if you will, Japan versus Slovakia. Japan's biggest moment in para ice hockey came in 2010 at the Vancouver Paralympic Winter Games. Beautiful scene here from outside Milano Santa Giulia Ice Hockey Arena. And it looks so amazing on TV. It looks so amazing in person too, by the way. Just gonna take us back to Vancouver 2010. It was the semifinal matchup for Japan. They played brilliantly, got outstanding goaltending, key goals at key moments, won the game, earned a spot in the gold medal game, ended up playing the US and ended up with the silver medal. The MVP of that tournament, here's a little Canada-Japan connection. The tournament was in Canada. The MVP of that tournament was Canadian forward Brad Bowden, who is now an assistant coach with Team Japan. Things come full circle sometimes. And he can still play. We saw him at practice the other day. Still looks pretty solid. 42 years young. Edward Lapacek is the goaltender for Team Slovakia, has been throughout the tournament. 31-year-old. Came into this game having stopped 80% of the shots that he faced. However, well, that number won't have changed a whole lot, but he did allow 1 goal on 2 shots. But it will change a little bit. And for him, it's a man like that you're going to have to keep an eye on. Ito. He's got a lot of speed to burn. Martin Joppa will try to organize his team into at least 1 or more goals here. Referee Matthew Fergenbaum, linesman Tibor Fazekas, and Larry Mietala. And they are just about ready to drop the vulcanized rubber, aka the puck.
7, 6, 5, 4.
Here we go, second period action. Slovakia in the white jerseys, Japan in black. Japan's only goal coming off, the game's only goal coming off the stick of Ito in the first period. He tries to throw his weight around early here in the second. Ito has one of these internal engines. He can just go and go and go. He leads Japan in ice time, as Joppa does for his team. In fact, Joppa leads the whole tournament. Here's Ito grabbing the puck, goes around Joppa. Nice little right stick to left, banks it ahead. Here's Nitsu, he's got a chance. Nitsu on net, rebound loose, net knocked off. And we are going to get The referee has decided the face-off is going to be outside the blue line because the Japanese player took the net off the moorings. So the racing in here, Nitsu was the one who knocked the net off. Ouch, and that didn't feel good. Referees decided to take the face-off outside, saying it was the Japanese player's fault. That beautiful net with the Milano Cortina 2026 logo inside the net. Beautiful. Mad scramble after the face-off. It's going to end up at Lepacek's net. He's going to deal it off for his captain, Jopa. He drops it off. Well, no, he held on to it. Looked like it was on its way to Korman, who might still get it. Good defensive play there by Japan and Murasaki. Murasaki, another one of the young players on Team Japan. They have got several 20-year-olds on the team. Here's a chance for Korman. He was pretty loose in front. Here's Jopa. Pushes it into the corner. Ligda and Murasaki battle for it. Ligda centers it out front, comes back to Ferencik. Now Korman, centering pass in front. Ligda was there. Japan trying desperately to clear it, and they will. So Slovakia started the first with all kinds of pressure, and they have started the second in similar fashion. Jopa, long one, out to center. Murasaki dumps it right back in again. Didn't get across the center red line. And Japanese players are being told not to make a line change, because once you've iced the puck down the ice to relieve the pressure, you cannot be rewarded by getting fresh players on the ice. And Nakakita Kojin knows that as well as anyone. Still a long way to go in this one, but Japan leads it 1-0. Just past the 2-minute mark of the second period. Puck dealed off into the corner by goaltender Hori. Ukai trying to track it down along the boards. Murasaki comes in to help out. Stasak in the midst of the battle as well. It comes back. Here's a chance, and just fired wide. Hlenka. Loose puck knocked out to center. This might be a chance brewing for Japan. Here they come. Kawahara launches one. In fact, that was Kumagai, Captain Kumagai. Good save by Lepacek, and he's going to hold on. Japan's second shot of the period. Kumagai got just about all of it. There was that chance earlier. Hori diving to his right, didn't get a piece of it, but that's because it was on its way wide, just barely. Jopa against Kawahara. Jopa wins the face-off. Just launches a wrist shot out to center ice. Here's Korman, but he got sandwiched between two Japanese players, and it's going to slide in on Hori Wataru. And the goaltender for Team Japan decides to hold on. Good view there of the inside of the bench with the ice in the bench. It's a real kind of luxury for the players. They like it. Team Slovakia means Team Slovakia in the stands as well. Friends, families, supporters have come from Slovakia to cheer on the team. Big hit there with Jopa. Scramble in that area in front of the Japan net. Gathered in by Jopa. Works it for Vacedek. Here's another chance. Blocker save by Hori. Rebound, and Hori's got it in his glove.
For more information on the Olympic and Paralympic Winter Games Milano Cortina 2026 and event schedule,
Hori is really on his game, I feel like. Jopa had a pretty good opportunity there.
Milano Cortina 2026 e sul programma degli eventi seguiteci su Instagram.
10 shots in the game now for Slovakia. Hori's been solid. Vacedek pushes it ahead of himself just enough that he's able to gather it in, and his captain comes and helps him, Jopa. Then back to Vacedek. He's got time to get the shot away, but he couldn't get it on net. Good work in front by the Japanese players to block it. Vacedek is going to go back for it. Milos Vacedek, averaging over 30 minutes per game in the tournament. Launches one down the ice. That's going to be an icing call against Team Slovakia. They trail 1-0, 11:05 to go in the second period. Coach Ivan Hritsko must sense that this is a game they could get. They could have. They're gonna have to turn up the pressure. Jopa against Ukai Shoshai. Shoshai had a nice World Championship last year in the B pool. 10 points in 5 games. Pretty good numbers when you can average 2 points per game. See him there wearing the number 23. He is only 20 years of age, so he would have been 19 at last year's Worlds in the B pool. Here comes Jopa. Turns on the jets, then turns on the brakes. And works it in for Korman. That was a chance for Ferencik. Kept it at the blue line by Ligda. And now controlled by Japan, and Ito's just going to flip it down the ice. And yet another whistle, and yet another face-off, and another icing against Japan. Sport that was started, back in the 1960s. Originally called sledge hockey at a rehabilitation center in Sweden. It grew until 2 Swedish teams played an exhibition game at the 1976 Paralympics in Sweden. Then the sport continued to spread and grow and was accepted into the Paralympic realm for the 1994 games in Lillehammer, where 5 teams competed. Sweden beat Norway for gold. But the sport has grown so much, they did such a good job that neither Sweden or Norway could qualify for these games. Came close for Norway down to the final day and then lost to Japan. Ito was smelling that pass might miss and he'd be off to the races. Didn't quite pan out though. Good puck control by Slovakia. Ligda leaves it there for Jopa. Launched towards the net. Hori had to react at the last second. Kind of a 2-reaction save. And the puck springs free for Ukai. He's got Ito moving. He decides to go to Nitsu instead. Nitsu, Ukai, or Ito rather. Back to center ice, Jopa for Slovakia the other way as they turn it right back up the ice. But not with a lot of authority, so Sudo's gonna take over. He'll drop it off. And it'll be dealt out to the blue line by Murasaki. And Japan got a bit lucky there that one found its way all the way out. Slovakia redirects it into the zone. You just kind of sense sometimes the way Jopa plays. Now he's playing on the point, that he's kind of pacing himself. And then he'll look for his opportunities and he'll jump in at it. Here's Ito, launches one towards the net. Ferencik back for it, absorbs a hit from Nitsu. He'll chip it to the blue line. Korman couldn't get it by Sudo. Ito is out there right near the blue line, waiting for the puck to come free. Never does. And it is blown down. Only goal of the game in the first period, scored by Japan's Ito Itsuki, the best forward of the qualifying tournament last November. And his team leads it 1-0. Slovakia has fired 4 shots at Hori Wataru here in this period, 11 total in the game, and he has stopped them all. Nakakita Kojin has to be pretty happy with the way his goaltender is playing. I think he'd like to see the rest of his players generate a little bit more in the way of offense. Japan, the best scoring efficiency in the tournament coming into this game. Coming into the game, they had 2 goals for on 6 shots on goal. And in this game, they have 1 goal on 5 shots. So they don't shoot often. They don't just fire pucks aimlessly. Here's a chance, though, for Japan. And the shot is handled in front. Nasu had a man in front, decided not to really get full advantage of him. That one is fired off the side of the net. Slovakia might have been caught just a little bit napping there, but here they come on offense. They're fully awake now with Korman. Korman shoots! And Hori makes the glove save. Puts that glove up, says, hey, look what I found. Hands it off to the linesman. Nicely done. Japan has really used the B World Championship success to help get them back to where they want to be. Gold medalists at the B Pool World Championships in 23, silver medalists last year. There's a long shot, Hori, the save. Jopa really got lots of that. Slovakia keeps pressing here. Scramble continues in the corner. Dug free by Jopa. He'll drop it off for Ferenchik. In behind for Korman. Jopa. But it's going to be intercepted by Ukai. He's got Ito. He sends it in. This will negate the icing. Ito, I don't know if it'll be a scoring chance right off the bat, but it might eventually be. Ito sends it in front. Nitsu was there and just couldn't pull the trigger. Nitsu springs it free for Ito. Got a bit of space, turns back, trying to create a bit more space. To the blue line it goes. Launched from long range by Ishikawa. So there's a case where Japan was really trying to get a shot on net and just couldn't hit the target. Shots attempted. That would be one that they would have wanted to get on net. That wasn't a choice. Slovakia, meanwhile, has fired 13 now at Hori, and still looking for their first reward of the game. How about that save? Got that blocker up in a hurry. He is really zoned in here. Hori had 2 shutouts at the B Pool World Championships last year. Stopped 93%, actually almost 94% of the shots that he faced. Had a 1.21 goals against average. Those are some stellar numbers for any goaltender in any version of hockey. And this time he's going to pounce on the puck. The 46-year-old young goaltender. Marian Ligda makes the face-off here against Kawahara. Yopa's going to come in and collect the puck. Here's a chance. There's a goal. Yopa snaps it home. Just what Slovakia needed. Captain Yopa comes through with a huge goal. Ligda does his job, ties up his man after the faceoff, and Yopa takes a look, looks in front, looks down at the puck, and it's what else he's doing at that time. Somehow is able to see, he was selling to the goaltender that he was going to come across the crease, and he sends it in on the short side. And a huge goal for Slovakia. 9 minutes and 4 seconds into the second period. And we've got a brand new game. Japan, though, goes back on offense. Kumagai, and his shot goes off into the corner. Yopa has the puck again, pushes it off the boards for Kuorman to center, back to Ligda, trying to track it down, does well to stay on side. And here's a chance for Yopa, busting in all alone. Hori stops it, rebound, Hori stops that as well. A couple of amazing saves, another chance. Ferencik misses the net. They come again, Hori stops it and covers it. Mark those saves. Hori, huge in net. That might be the difference in the game if Japan can get their offense going, because their goaltender is playing at a world-class level. Absolutely remarkable. When your goaltender can do that for you, you'll go through walls for him. Yopa, stopped by Hori. Rebound, Ferencik, stopped by Hori. There was one more. That came with two Japanese players running into each other, trying to stop the Slovak attack. Hori, so impressive. Boy, we've got a lot of players who are grabbing the headline, goaltenders, I should say, grabbing the headlines in this tournament, looking for that honor of the best goaltender. I don't envy the person who has to choose that. Hori playing outstanding. Lapacek hasn't been tested as much as we thought he might be. Ito trying to get to the puck, flips it to the blue line. Both teams' leading offensive player has scored in this game. Ito for Japan, and Yopa coming back for Slovakia. That was Ligda's first goal of the tournament for a player who we know can score in numbers. He's got the puck again. Here he comes, looking for more. Yopa drops it back. Kuorman, he shoots. Saved by Hori. And he made a little bit of a mess of it, and he was able to quickly recover. Slovakia starting to get its confidence a little bit. You like to get that trapper worn in to a point where you can feel that puck coming, but it doesn't hurt, if you know what I mean. When it hits there, you want to catch it, and you don't want it dropping out because someone's going to knock it in the net potentially. Hori reaches out for that one. He deals it in behind for Ukai. He'll chip it ahead for Nitsu. Ito was going to be offside. It's a delayed offside as two Slovakia players run into each other. Japan has now cleared the zone, and they might be able to get something going here. No, Slovakia does well to break it up. Good collision there. Japan got the better of it with Ishikawa. And Team Japan back in its own zone. Ukai leaves it for Nitsu. Certainly make an argument that Nitsu has been one of the most valuable players, if not the most, for Japan. He can play in offense and in defense. Here comes Ito. He does a nice job to push that one ahead for Ukai. He drops it back for Nitsu. He sends it to Ito, and he just rolls it wide off the deflection. Iopa banks it off the boards and down. I don't think this is going to go for icing. No, says the linesman. Sudo goes back for it. One of the three players on Team Japan who won silver in Vancouver in 2010. Ukai. Some of the players on Japan weren't even alive when they won silver. Got several 20-year-olds on this team. Scramble in the corner in the Japanese zone. Iopa manages to knock it right back deep in Japan's corner. Ishikawa has it under his sled, makes the pass back for Ukai. He sends it to Nishu. All wrapped up by Ligda. Here's a chance out front. Iopa stop. A shot is stopped by Hori. Another chance. Still right in the blue ice area. And it is covered up by Hori. He doesn't want anything to do with that loose puck lingering around his crease. Really is fascinating to watch that Slovakia just really never takes Iopa off the ice. Sometimes he's a forward, sometimes he plays defense, but he stays out there most of the time. You got to manage your energy a little bit more like a soccer player than as a hockey player, because you're out there the whole time. But here comes Japan on offense. Ito, he's got a path to the net, but he got it shut off. In fact, that was Kawahara, got it shut down. That was looking really dangerous. Mikael Hlinka drops it back for Iopa. He'll lift it off the boards and out to center ice. Ishikawa. He couldn't get it past his man, Turic, and then he got shut down and tangled up. Here's a chance just out of the reach. And this is going to be called on the icing. I don't know if Isawa realized that he would have beaten the Slovak player to the puck. He would have negated the icing, but he kind of turned off the power. Pretty good hockey game. 1-1, a minute 44 to go. Period number 2. If we're tied at the end of regulation, we still have another period to play. It'll be 5 minutes of 4 skaters to 4. We're still tied. We'll have a shootout. Ishikawa heads back to get the puck. Oh, he just about gave it up. Corman does have it. He couldn't get a shot away, and Hori reaches out and knocks it out of harm's way. Japan struggling to gain control here. Matsushita along the boards, getting some help from Nasu. But here is Iopa, tries to jam it in on the short side. And it'll be sent away by Japan. Here's Vesharek. Vesharek pushes it all the way out to center ice. Korman He's going to take the pass. Maybe a rush brewing here. A dangerous looking one. Corman shoots, and he missed it. And it'll be pounced on with that left catching glove, the trapper of Hori Owataru, who has been the busier of the two goaltenders in this game, facing over twice as many shots as Lapacek on the other end. Look at that smart play by Hori. It's not just about pucks coming to you, it's about you reaching out to knock them out of harm's way. If you can help your team in that way, then you don't have to make the save. Here is Jopa. Takes it back in behind the net. No, he doesn't. He tried to tuck it in on the short side, and then Corman does! Corman jams it in past Hori, and Slovakia has its first lead of the tournament. It is the strong work of Jopa, and it is the finish. So Jopa makes it seem like he's going to try to wrap it around, and then at the last moment, Hori seemed ready for that, but then he wasn't ready for the follow-up by Corman. And as a result, Japan is now down a goal in a game that they led.
Second goal for Team Slovakia, scored by number 98.
Secondo gol per la Slovacchia, segnato dal numero 98.
Looking for more is Slovakia. Here's Sudo.
Assistito dal numero 25.
Japan does not look like the team that played so well against Czechia.
Vladimir Ferencik. Goal time for 29 minutes and 19 seconds.
Al minuto 29
Ito.
e 19.
That's center ice. It's interesting what happened at the Paralympic qualifying tournament for Japan is they played poorly in their opener against Korea, lost that one, and then stormed back to end the tournament at 4-1 and qualify for the Paralympic Games. This was what Jopa does. Look at, he kind of sells that he's going to go around the back. He can't on the jam in, and then Corman basically does the same thing. He goes right stick to left, and he pops it in. And Coach Nakakita has his team down a goal, heading to this third period. The second is over. It was 2 goals for Slovakia, Jopa and Corman, and they are full value for their lead right now through 30 minutes of hockey with 15 yet to play, unless there is more hockey on top of that. But right now it's Slovakia in the driver's seat to finish in 3rd place in the group.
Nel secondo periodo sono stati Slovacchia 13, Giappone 6.
Jopa Ligda made got the assist on the first one, and then Corman scored the second, and then it was Jopa who did the yeoman work on that one to get it set up. And as a result, Team Japan finds itself down 2-1 to Slovakia. It was the kind of game where you look at Japan and you say, hey, they've got the full roster of players. Maybe they can outskate, outwork the shorter benched Slovakian team. But what's ended up happening is it has been tough slogging for the second line for Japan. They haven't quite been able to play with some of the top players on Slovakia, and they found themselves in their own end an awful lot. Slovakia dominating the faceoffs, certainly in that second period. Hori's been a huge part of this game. If he wasn't having the kind of game he is having, this could be out of reach already for Japan. As it is, they're only down by 1. You're going to watch how it happened. At this point, Japan is still leading after that first period goal. But eventually, the onslaught from Slovakia continued enough. They put 13 shots at Hori's net, including that one. Jopa, he is fired up. And it was well deserved. He has played a ton for this Slovakia team. Gonna get a couple of looks at this. He's dangerous when he gets in close like that with room. Watch this collision right here between the two players on Japan. That allowed Jopa another clear-cut chance, and only for the magic of Hori is he able to keep the puck out. Jopa's going to score on that, I think, 7 times out of 10. But Hori makes the save and then quickly gets himself back in a decent position. You want to be square to the shooter as much as you can. And he lets that one hit his chest protector. But watch this. This doesn't go, but this does. Boom, in the net. Corman, 2-1 Slovakia. And when you give up a goal in the final, either the first or final minute of the period, that's a recipe to hear it from your coach. And I suspect Japan will be. But Slovakia's got to be happy with the way they have played through the first 2 periods. They are full value for a 2-1 lead over Japan.
Ma io continuo a sognare negli occhi tuoi belli
Lights on, that means we're not far away from starting the third period of action at the Milano Cortina 2026 Paralympic Winter Games at the Santa Giulia Arena. Para ice hockey has been part of the Paralympic program since 1994. Japan scored the only goal of the first period. It was Ito Itsuki. But it was 2 goals for Slovakia in the last 6 minutes of the second period that has them in the lead. Jopa gets his first of the tournament at 9:04 from Ligda, and then Korman from Jopa and Ligda at 14:19, and that's where we sit 2-1 Slovakia through 2 periods of play.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome back to the ice, Team Slovakia.
Signore e signori, ridiamo il
And
benvenuto
Martin
sul
Jopa,
ghiaccio
indeed,
alla
the
Slovacchia.
captain of Team Slovakia, has played the entire game, save for 3 seconds.
Team Japan.
E ora ridiamo il benvenuto sul ghiaccio al
Suspect he'll need
Giappone.
another strong third period if his team is going to hold on. Mikko Kaneko. A quick look at him coming off the bench. Coming out of the dressing room into the bench, I suppose. Pori has stopped 18 of the 20 shots fired his way. Lapacek has stopped 7 of 8 fired his way. The less busy of the 2 goaltenders faced 6 shots in that second period. Slovakia trying to lock up third spot in Group B. After losses to begin the tournament against Czechia and Canada in reverse order. Same story for Japan. They began the tournament with a 3-2 loss to Czechia and then a 14-0 loss to
The
Canada.
athletes are ready. The official
Korman
timekeeper is set. Let's count down all together.
scored 2 different games now. Right now his goal would stand up as the game winner if Japan can't come back. And you gotta think Japan's gonna attack this third period
8, 7,
for all they're worth.
6, 5, 4.
It is Team Japan in black. It's Team Slovakia in white. And the puck sent into the Japanese zone, chopped in by Jopa. Japan trying to get organized here. Here's a steal from Ligda, finds Korman. He hits the post. Jopa comes in for the rebound, decides not to shoot it. Jams on the brakes, sends one on net. Pori gloves it, then deals it off behind the net. Already a couple of chances for Slovakia here in the opening seconds. Here's Korman. Spins away from Ukai. Rattles it off the boards. Jopa goes after it. Always looking is Jopa. He takes a look to his left before he takes a handle on that puck to make sure he knows who's behind him. Here's Ligda. Trying to get it back to Korman. Intercepted by Japan. Ukai. He'll just push it around the boards. Going to be kept in by Slovakia's defenseman Hlinka. Now Korman, centering pass, it's broken up. And Nitsu has Japan heading out. Got out muscled and knocked down. And it'll be slammed right back in again by Milos Vesarek. Ukai decides to stop it up. Korman's going to chase it. Sudo's going to chase him. Centering pass picked off by Nitsu, and he'll shovel it ahead for Ito. Let's see if he can negate this icing. No. He made up some serious ground on Slavomir Ferenchik, but he couldn't quite make it all up. That's how close Slovakia came to making it 3-1. Wow. Ukai against Ferenchik. Face-off controlled and sent behind the net by Slovakia. And a chance again out front. Nitsu. Ukai, he's got Ito moving. Gets it across the Slovakia blue line. Good job by Sudo to keep it in, but not for long. Didn't have control. And Slovakia right back in again. Ligda. 2 points in the game already for Ligda. He set up both goals. Here's Nitsu. Pushes it out of harm's way. 3 Japanese players thinking offense here. Here's Ito. He takes the pass. He's got a man with him. Ukai has it. Walking in. Ukai shoots. Oh, he rattles the crossbar. Ito again. He didn't see Ukai. He was alone. He could have got him the puck. He might have had another scoring chance. Ukai Shoshai. One of several 20-year-olds on this team. Ito's another one. They've got a 16-year-old on the roster as well, as this one is pounced on by Edward Lapacek. And the 16-year-old has just made his way out onto the ice. Let's watch one more time. That was that great chance from Ukai. He did everything right, except keep it on the low side of the crossbar. About 1 centimeter would have deflected down and into the net. The man taking the face-off right now, Yusai Kawahara. Kawahara Yusai is just 16 years of age. He is their top face-off man right now. Good job by Slovakia to race to get to that puck. And they're trying to put pressure on again with Yopa. He overskates it. Kumagai works it around the boards. And a good job there by Murasaki, like a freight train coming in, knocking it away, but it'll be knocked right back into the Japan zone. 4:45, check that, 3:45 gone by here in the third period. Slovakia, the only 2 goals of the second after Japan had scored in the first. And Slovakia leads it 2-1. Sudo, the 2010 Paralympic silver medalist, pushes it up on the boards, out of the reach though of Kumagai. It's underneath the sled of Murasaki, and now it's underneath the glove of Hori Owataru. Still time for Japan, but they've got to shift the ice a little bit, symbolically anyway, and do more from left to right on your screen. Right now it is all Slovakia pressuring, but it doesn't take much. Japan is very much a counter-attack team. You make a mistake, they'll make you pay. Kind of have 2 counter-attack teams here. These 2 teams met in the gold medal game of the 2023 B-Pool World Championships. It was Japan winning that one. Can they find a way to win this one? Face off to the left of Hori. He's only faced 2 shots in this period. Check that, make it 3 now. And stopped all 3. His team needs him to be absolutely rock solid. Here is Ukai, one man back. Ukai, can he get a shot? He can. It's over the net, though. Quarterman deals it out to center, Yopa, but he's in a race with Ito, and he's the only player on Japan who probably could have caught him. Here comes Ito. He's got some speed now, but he just gave it away, trying to turn defense into offense. You've got to keep that puck on your stick, or at least close enough to it, and he couldn't quite do it. 5 minutes gone in the third. Slovakia trying to hang on to the 2-1 lead that they built up. Quarterman, Fadenchik. He's got some room here. They let him shoot, they do, but it's into the glove of Hori. And that's his fourth save of the period. He is definitely in the zone. Faced enough shots, and even that one was almost a screen. It just kind of came in behind Sudo. And that is not an easy save, but he made it look fairly easy. Japan trying to keep the lines rolling here, so Ito and Ukai come off. They win the face-off. That's clutch. Good job again by Kawahara, the 16-year-old. Puck sent back in the corner. Slovakia, Ferencik. Quarterman, Vesharek, Liga got tumbled over. Sudo just decided not to go with any force or energy there. He had a chance to get a loose puck and didn't realize there was a player there. Just simply beat him to it. Slovakia, back it goes to Ferencik. Inside of 9 minutes to play now, third period action. Japan the only goal of the first period, Slovakia the only 2 of the second. Who, if anyone, will score in the third period? Here's Vesharek. And he's got his man all tied up, and he has just taken a penalty as Nasu, and the judgment of the referee was held, and Vesharek is saying, hey, what about my stick? Hey, I lost it because he was holding it. Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't think he was holding the stick. I think he got underneath the sled, but maybe it was in an angle we couldn't quite see. Bottom line, Japan goes to the power play. They are 0 for 4 in the tournament with the man advantage. They could sure use one here. Ukai trying to take the draw and win it clean. Back for Ito. Ito's going to pick it up along the boards. Look out. Back it goes, and here's a giveaway. Corman might have a chance. Corman busting in. Ito trying to catch. Sudo comes in. And great burst of speed by Sudo. We knew he was quick when he wants it. Ito. That's it goal for Ukai. Japan survived that scare. Can they make something happen now? Ukai swings it across for Ishikawa. Corman read it perfectly. They knew that play was going to Ito, and now Ukai has it. Nice move through center, but lost it. Following up was Ishikawa. He just couldn't get it on the stick of his teammate. Now Ito has it, but this is offside as Kumagai got in on the wrong side of the blue line. Doesn't matter if half your body is on the good side of the blue line, if your blades are on the wrong side, and especially because he was parallel to the blue line. We're halfway through, or virtually halfway through the third period. Still 1:07 to go on this power play for Japan. Has not in the slightest looked threatening yet. In fact, the better scoring chance on this power play has gone the way of Slovakia. Sudo drops it back to Ishikawa. Japan looks like they've run out of gas a little bit here. Let's see if Ito can re-energize them. He's going to drop it back. This looks a little bit like an NHL power play now. Bring it in, Ukai, across the blue line. Over skates it. Yopa couldn't get it out, but Ligda will. Kumagai slams into him. Ukai grabs the puck. Ishikawa couldn't do anything with it. Now Sudo over skates it. He'll go back to get it. Less than 15 seconds to go in this power play, which has not been powerful in any way. Ishikawa Yudai banks it off the boards for Ito, but Ito got bumped just enough by Ligda. Here's a steal, though, by Kumagai. Good play by Ito to stay on side. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. Ishikawa trying to get to that puck, but Japan has been muscled off the puck the entire game. Here's a chance, though, in front. Kumagai stopped. Rebound comes loose. He tries to bat at it. That wouldn't have counted anyway. And Yopa is going to send it out to center. Slovakia has killed off the penalty. Ishikawa just got it across the blue line offensively. Japan goes back to get it again. Here's Ito. Works it ahead for Ukai. Wants to stick handle, gets across the line. Tried to make the play for Ito. Easily broken up, though, by Slovakia. And they'll send it back inside the Japan blue line. Ishikawa. Ito got Nitsu with him, but he's going to draw his own. Well, that looked like it was offside. Must have been just onside. Battle for it along the boards. I don't know how much Japan's going to change their lines anymore here. You might be seeing a lot of Nitsu and Ishikawa and Ito and Ukai. Less than 5 to go. Slovakia clinging to a 1-goal lead. Japan has managed 4 shots in the period. Slovakia has managed 4. But a news puck is needed. And we're going to drop it very shortly. Both of these teams are part of Group B. The one who wins this game will lock up 3rd place in Group B and will play the 4th place team from Group A. That much I can tell you. The other 2 teams in this group are Canada and Czechia. These 2 teams both losing to both Canada and Czechia. And so they have an 0-2 record. One of them is going to have won 1 game at the end of this night. There was that chance from Kumagai. And he didn't miss by much, but hit the shoulder of Lapacek. And that's even harder to be that good of a goaltender when your teammates have done such a good job keeping the puck away from you. So the Iceland clapping that we saw from the World Cup a few years ago makes its way into the stadium. Fans cheering on the players from both teams. Japan trailing 2-1 against Slovakia. Final group match of the tournament. Good backtrack there to pick it up from Ukai. He's going to drop it off for Ito. Ito dances away from a couple, still has it, but then just got knocked off stride enough. Here's a chance for Yopa, busting in all by himself. Captain Yopa shoots and scores. He had drawn a penalty if it didn't go in, but never mind, it did go in. And Slovakia's got a 3-1 lead. You just can't be so sloppy in between the blue lines playing against a player like Yopa. takes advantage of the mistake. Holds off Murasaki just enough to be able to slide that one in. Murasaki was about to take a penalty. And Yopa goes quickly, right stick to left, scores his second of the game. And at 10:45 of the third period, Japan finds itself in a 2-goal hole.
Team Slovakia, score by number 25.
Here's another steal by Yopa, now looking for the hat trick. Yopa in front, Ligda! Couldn't shoot it. Good back check there by Ito. Here's Korman. Centering pass, that deflects! And Hori, dynamite, this time with the stick. Reaches back with the paddle after it had deflected off his teammate. And he makes a huge save. Here's that goal again. Right stick to left, the old deke. And you can't ask Hori to stop them all. He has stopped 22 of 25 in this one. But his teammates just simply have not generated enough in front of him. Here is Yopa. He's going to drop it back. Korman. Yopa shoots and they score! Tipped in front. Lika. And you look at how happy his teammates are. Halika gets the reward, parks himself in front, gets a nice little left stick deflection, and it's like slow motion making its way into the net. And they are partying in Slovakia just enough. Halika wanted it back for a second. He's like, I can do better. No, it's in. Okay. Good times, perhaps, in Bratislava as they celebrate that huge goal. Slovakia puts itself in an opportune position now. It would take a near miracle comeback from Japan. And they just haven't shown anything in the late stages of this one. Hitsu goes back. Got to get one before you can get three. Drops it off for Ukai. Curls back. Times are running out. Got to get a goal a minute here. And off the back stick of Murasaki. Kept in at the blue line, Ferencik. Now he shoots it. Broken stick, or at least a dropped stick, finding its way into the corner. And Japan, Ukai, ahead for Ito. No, picked off by Yopa, reads it perfectly, looking for the hat trick. And Hori shuts the door on Martin Yopa. Interesting to see the way Hori has his stick tape. He just has, it looks like, one piece of tape along the bottom of his stick. And Hori squeezing that one between his arm and his chest protector. Now we got a man waved out of the face-off. Haven't seen an awful lot of that. Slavomir Ferencik. So in comes Miroslav Staszak. Japan trying to generate something here. Murasaki gets across center. That kind of makes a blind pass, picked off by Staszak. Yopa still on the ice for Slovakia. Vesharek falls. Jopa comes in to collect the loose puck.
There's 2 minutes left to play in the third period.
Slovakia's confidence has grown and grown throughout this game. Coming off back-to-back lopsided losses, your confidence is always going to take a bit of a shot. Here's Murasaki. Kumagai had it taken from him. Jopa fights off his check, gets it to Ferencik, who'll shoot it in. Inside of a minute and a half to play now. Just a matter of time, it would seem. Murasaki ahead for Ukai. He feeds Ito. Ito might get a chance here. Nope, good defense. Good defense, that is, and good defensive play by Slovakia. Now inside of a minute to play. Slovakia on their way to their first win of the tournament. Thanks to this man who's got 3 points on 2 goals and 1 assist. A really strong performance by the captain of Slovakia, Jopa. Long one on net, steered aside. Not without a lot of effort. Ito trying to catch up with that one, but it's going to be an icing call.
For more information on the game and future events, you can go to
Martin Jopa, in fact, was in on all 4 goals for Slovakia. A goal and 3 assists for number 25 from Slovakia. Japan might have called a timeout here. With 28 seconds remaining in the third period. Now, even when the game is virtually out of reach, you're still going to have lots of physical play. There's the Slovakia sandwich. Sandwiching one of the Japanese players. The thrills and spills, that is the game of para ice hockey. That looked like a plan that was drawn up with Ito to rush out, but instead, it's Slovakia scoring Vasharek and make it 5-1 Slovakia. Robert Turic is going to pick up an assist. Boy, did he ever wire that one. You kind of feel for Hori. You hate to see his stats go south after he's had such a good game. But Slovakia, meanwhile, is loving the feeling of putting the puck in the net after it was so hard to come by in the first 2 games for them. Final seconds now of what will prove to be a pretty thorough win for Team Slovakia. Yes, they were behind after 1 period, but they came on strong in 2 and 3, led by their captain, Martin Jopa, who plays virtually the entire game, records 4 points, got significant help from the likes of Ligda and Forman. And then the end result is a 5-1 win for Slovakia over Japan and third place in the group.
For the game total of my team, Slovakia,
all the teams will have a day to rest, and then we'll come back to play in the qualifying games. Games to decide 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th. And don't think those aren't meaningful, because they are very meaningful for these teams. No one wants to finish 8th, and if you can't be in the medal round, then you want to finish 5th. And both of these teams still have a chance to achieve that, but they'll have to win. From now on, it is do or die. But through the preliminary round, Slovakia is going to finish it with 1 win and 2 losses. We were hoping we would get to see Fukamishu Akari in action tonight, but we did not get a chance to see her skate. What we are hoping is 4 years hence, or at the very, very latest, 8, women's para-hockey is in the Paralympic Winter Games. But there are high hopes that that will happen in 4 years' time. Solid effort by the officials, Fergenbaum, Fazekas, and Natila. No complaints, I don't think, on either side. Both goaltenders were strong. Lapacek wasn't tested as much, but he was strong in the important stages. And Coach Nakakita knows it's not over for his team. There's still time to get better in this tournament and salvage a victory, and maybe 2. Both of these teams have a chance at doing that. Slovakia avenges the loss they had against Japan last year at the Paralympic qualifying tournament. Japan will try to have the last laugh before this tournament is over. Whether it will be against Slovakia or not remains to be seen.
Il comitato organizzatore di Milano Cortina 2026 spera che abbiate trascorso una piacevole serata e vi ringrazia per la vostra partecipazione all'evento di oggi.
Correction, Martin Joppa had 2 goals and 2 assists. I had it right in front of me here, but for some reason had him at a goal and 3 assists, but it was 4-point game for Joppa, 2 goals and 2 assists. And he leads his team to victory over Japan, a 5-1 final score. Slovakia takes it and takes 3rd place in Group B.
Il pubblico a seguire le indicazioni del personale per raggiungere le uscite e a portare con sé tutti i propri effetti personali. Grazie!
Milano Cortina 2026 with the Paralympic Winter Games wishes to provide all spectators with a clean and environmentally friendly venue. Please assist us by placing all unwanted rubbish and waste items in the disposal area provided. Thank you!
24 saves for Hori in net for Team Japan.
Aiutateci smaltendo i rifiuti e gli oggetti inutilizzati negli appositi contenitori. Grazie!
(29-10) the shots. Power plays really weren't much of a factor in this game. Goaltending was strong, as we mentioned, in both nets. But in the end, it was the offense of Slovakia, led by their captain, Martin Joppa, and backed up by teammates like Gorman and Ligda that sealed the victory. 5-1 the final score. So there you see the top half of the bracket. USA will play Czechia in one semifinal, Canada against China in the other. And the bottom half of the bracket, we'll see Slovakia play Germany. Italy will play Japan. The winner of those games will play in the 5th place game. The loser of those games will play in the 7th place game. The joy has returned for Team Slovakia after back-to-back losses to begin the tournament. An impressive 5-1 victory for Slovakia over Japan to lock up 3rd place in the group heading into the playoffs.